There we go. More line work around those eyes. Can I get a zoom? Woo! Maybe I just had a bad strain. Yeah, I've heard, people like that. I mean, there's so many strains out there. It's not like, the first one you smoke is going to be, oh my, it could be just complete shit. Now, I can almost guarantee you that I will have a very privileged experience when I decide to smoke it. Because I have very good mentors around me and access to some pretty fucking amazing shit. It'd be like a Macy's Day Parade in my lungs. Here comes Bart Simpson. Oh, you're in Texas, man. Yeah, you're gonna have to travel, dude. You're not getting shit down there. Yeah. I don't even think Austin you can find anything worth a shit. Right?
There's some, but it's pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Nothing's like West Coast weed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, dude. Yeah, there's nothing like West Coast weed. It's legendary for a reason.
Well, there's just like because there's so much of a culture. It's like competition anywhere,
Yeah.
Competition is fierce. Shit is way fucking better.
Yeah, if you heard sugar, the competition's so fierce on the West Coast. I give up on typing. Yeah, I mean, you come to California, you come to Washington, the dispensaries out here are like fucking nightclubs. I mean, they're gorgeous. They put money into these places. You walk into one, you're like, am I in like a high-end lawyer's waiting office? Or like... I think like Steve Jobs is going to come out. Hey, dude. Have you tried iWeed? Yeah, I mean, it's, if anybody's growing in Texas, their thing is like, how do I produce, sell, and not get caught? They're not worried about like the elegance of their weed or the beauty behind growing it. They're not saying, oh, I'm in a state where I'm allowed to grow it, so I can actually like start to put a little into the art of it. But don't worry, I'm not going to let them bust open one of your cigars and make a blunt out of it.
I wouldn't want to anyway. Wouldn't want to ruin my weed like that.
So this is what a green hooker's heartbeat sounds like. Thank God. He's like, thank God. Twitch is skipping. All right. Whew. All right. We're getting there. I'm going to shot of OJ. Oh, actually, we can darken that. Okay, so I just want to get that darkened up a little bit more in there. There we go. Okay, let's get a little bit of a... Alright. Let's start here. So start drawing some color towards that eye. Dry the brush off. Bring in some dirt and texture and darken up that side a little more. Bring it down to where it meets the water. It's literally just dry brushing these shadows in. This grit. Maybe a white whale, but it's a smudgy one. A lot of the skipping around because I'm using a flat brush. I'm using it like a round, almost like a round blender. She break dances while wearing her jewelry. See if we can capture some of that splatter in there a little bit. Are we good? Are we good? Did we get it? Did we get it? Oh, maybe. There we go. Oh yeah, that's yummy. You can catch it right on the edge of that white. It literally looks like he's got like a pigmentation disease. In fact, I think we may go a little more with that. Especially around here, give it almost like some salt spray. There we go. all that. It just gave it whole new dimension to his skin, whole new texture. And then once it hits the water, kind of smooths everything out and like magic. What do we want to do next? What do we want to do?
It's like magic.
It's magic, man. You know what? Whether it stays like that or not, why don't we give this guy some pearly whites? I'm at a pearl necklace, boy. No. All right. Squeal like a pig. This is a deliverance whale. What's that? Oh. Sounds like a hooker on Mars. Yeah. Those are some like old. I do time lapse my drawings. I have 6 of them up right now on my main Twitch feed, like where I post stuff. Or if you click on the YouTube link under all my information, they're up there. Or go to SeanDietrichArt.com. Is it under video, Sugar?
Yeah.
And then look under video. So yes, we are heavy into time lapsing. I thought you knew that. Remember, Sugar writes all the music for it. But yeah, definitely check out the website. It's got everything on there. The time lapses especially. I do record all these sessions too. So the Hatter, Hunter S. Thompson, this whale will eventually be time lapsed. So, but every Twitch stream that I do is recorded on the computer. But yeah, absolutely love time lapsing. I think it's an amazing way to show off the artwork. And it looks cool at events. Like if you're showing off your art at an event, you can just be like, oh, you mind if I run a video in the background? Woo! You know, it's like all the artwork that's there, but time lapsed. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I think there's 5 or 6 of them up there. Honest Brutality with the California bear and whatnot. That's the latest one. We have a dung beetle one that's a three custom hand painted rolling tray triptych, and then my wife made this little paper mache dung beetle. Water in there for now. I'll put that wave line in a minute here. The bear was a fun one. So, Honest Brutality, that was for a podcast, heavy metal podcast out of Redding, California. Really good dudes and lady. Let's see here. Do I want to, you know what? I think what I want to do, what I really, really want to do, is also, as I did the gray, I want to go back in, kind of hit on this edge here, some actual like pure white. Yeah, that'll bounce some color. I'll give it that highlight it kind of needs to help also round it out. A little bit up in there. And that bear time lapse is definitely one of the hardest songs Sugar's written so far. Or, I mean, the Riken Funk has written so far. Sugar had nothing to do with that.
Sugar who?
It was all the sleazy geezer. With artwork from the Baron von Funkhaufen. I just can't wait to start using my moniker, so I can, my fake name, so I can just cool. That's the only reason I wanted to do the project. So I can have my art name. Do you got an art name, bro?
Do you realize that people could like come up with less reasons to have fake names?
Right? I just want Lil.
Yeah. Lil Baron von Funkhaufen.
Yeah. The Lil Funkhaufen. Yeah.
We should totally have a little side project.
Right? Little bullshit.
Just call it Little Side Project.
Yeah. There you go. It's got some nice bright teeth. So here's the part where do I throw a bunch of red on this? I kind of want him. The original intent was to have red, like blood on his tail, come up, and then have some blood spots. And the mosquitoes, I wanted like red and white, or maybe even red and orange alternating. Because red would be obviously be the strong color. But I'm just wondering, if I put big old red spots over here, is that eyeball still going to be the center of attention? And yes, it could be, actually. So, okay. But maybe what we'll do, maybe we should start by splattering a little red on my hat edges. Maybe. Tough decisions is right. I don't want to go and then it's fucked. Because I couldn't just like white it out, and start over. Too impossibly easy. All right. We're going to do all this line work right now. Top back into the ink. I figure that's the best way to talk through this instead of being silent, but also to, like you said, I want people to kind of see the process and know that, like, as much as these Twitch artists may think, they are not, none of them are prepared. Like, not every drawing is pre-planned because, I mean, either way I do this could come out, there could be several different ways to complete this painting and make it look dope. So it's, it's just which one is my way. Which one makes me sleep at night? And I'm almost thinking it, as I'm kind of breaking these up, or one end is not as, I may just fade the red out and give it almost like some bleached out red. I mean, he's an old soul, so. Yeah, I like when artists kind of walk through their process. I mean, if I'm going to watch it, that's what I'm watching, so. It's all about, if I get this line work right, when I get this line work right, make this eye, you want to make this eye as powerful as possible. So if I do put some other color in there, this is his last beach trip. Yeah, right. He's like, I'm done with this shit. But yeah, as long as I can get that eyeball, capture that just immense power to be super dark. The line work all leads to it. I can put brighter colors back here, and it'll work. And if the mosquito is being red and white, we'll definitely diffuse that as well, because it'll bring that color around the painting. You know, he's like Gunny, man. He's like, I wish I retired. I just want to be a movie consultant now. That was a sad day when he died. Arlie Ermy. There we go. Yeah, that's starting to get really strong in there, so we can definitely add some color. How long before that black ink won't smear? There you go. 10 seconds. And if you do this line, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, about 5 seconds. There was a little smear at 4 seconds, so. Yeah, it's super fast. I mean, this thing soaks in. You know, and Higgins Black Magic used to be the same way. I mean, for some reason, it's still a very opaque ink. Which my buddy in Pittsburgh found out the day he's like, fucking with my ink, and I was like, dude, don't mess with it. The lid's not on. He's like, oh, drops it on his crotch. And I'm like, okay, that's going to soak through your pants. And sure enough, he got it all over his jeans. And he goes to the bathroom, and he came out, and he's like, oh, shit. He's like, my dick's black. I'm like, didn't get any bigger, though, did it? I was like, I told you that shit would soak through. It took like a week before it went out. Man, that poor bastard. I'm like, you don't have a date tonight, right? I'm like, it's good, man. Just tell her you want to take it slow. But this stuff is amazing ink. Absolutely love it. Did you order some? Weren't you saying you were going to order some up? Hey, did the green hooker run away?
That shit straight up turned the fuck off.
Oh. Learning to Save.
Learning to save.
Great Pink Floyd song. No, that's Learning to Fly. Are you calling me a green hooker? No. I love how you chime in. Like, oh, you did order the ink. Okay, okay. And yes, yes, Moon, we're calling you a green hooker now. Because who else would be up this late watching people paint? But green hookers and cigar aficionados. And wherever that drunk 2 Tim is he hanging out yet?
Oh, 1 serving is 10 milligrams.
Whoops. Oh, so that's what, 2.5 servings?
2.5 servings.
Yeah, ink's so fun to work with though. I don't know, it just how it drips and slides across any surface, and it's so nice. You get those sharp lines.
This shit's tasty though. They had one that was 75 milligrams.
Woo!
Big size bottle.
Pepperidge Farm, or what is it? No, Country Time Lemonade.
Great lemonade nose.
Country Time THC.
Dogtown Pioneers.
Ooh. So they're out of Santa Barbara?
Dogtown?
Where's Dogtown? Is it like the skate thing?
No. Pioneers Inc.
Ah, okay. Yeah, for sure, man. And if you have any trouble with it or you need technique help, just let me know.
It doesn't give
It's pretty unforgiving.
a sunny drink for shady people.
Is that what it says? His lemonade says a sunny drink for shady people. Yeah, of course, man. I am here to give advice. Wouldn't want you to get that beautiful ink and be frustrated using it. Where am I at here? Do I have a... No. Woohoo! I think his eye is pretty prominent. Look at my eye. I have a wrinkly eye, god damn it. Yeah, definitely try brush. It's gonna be one of them things, man. You're gonna pick up an ink, brush. You're gonna start channeling all the old school dudes. Be like, what the fuck? The power that flows through me.
Power of Grayskull.
Yeah. How do I clean a brush? I throw it the fuck away. It's clean. No, soap and water, or shit, I forgot what it's called. They have brush cleaner. It's in a tan, like a little tan thing. But usually I just a little soap and water. And then if you ever use paint and it gets kind of whatever, or hand sanitizer, the alcohol will help eat it away. So yeah, just soap and water. I use a fresh brush every time. And when I am finally out of brushes, I am out of a career. Oh, and because we have to do it, I'm sure you'll be able to do. Oh, the drawing. Oh, yeah. Right. All right. We gotta have at least one spiral in here. Yeah, this brush is it's still hanging in there. You can tell when a brush starts to get tired. Let's go to brushy heaven. He's got that Forrest Whitaker bristle, the one that just kind of pokes out from the fucking side, and no matter how much water you put on there, you can't get it to stay straight again. You know, time to go. Do you have any improvements you've thought of for big picture? You mean for the big picture that this will be a part of? Yeah, I mean, actually, like doing this, it gave me a better option for how to present the whale or the landing craft because there's going to be multiple. So especially when I was doing those initial sketches on how to one whale looking this way, the other, it allowed me to say, okay, maybe I do want, it'll kind of like one will look towards us, the other will look, and the other will be sideways, and that way it'll kind of lead people into the center of it. So as opposed to like three of them kind of rushing towards the beach. The mosquitoes especially. In fact, the mosquitoes weren't even a part until I started doing the whale. This painting and then thought of the mosquito or the machine guns as mosquitoes. That wasn't even a thought. So yeah, in doing this, I was able to come up with some of the extra animalizations that I wanted to do, or extra ways to animalize things in the painting itself. So it's almost like it's almost like an what is it, Animal Farm type scenario. Yeah, I mean, my mind is always just tooling around whatever that I'm working on or whatever I'm not working on. I mean, there's things switch, things whatever. Even the Hunter Thompson painting the Hatter. I mean, I could see a few variations on how to do those, but I had something that worked, and I stuck with it, and that's kind of an important part of the process as well, is being able not to overthink it and being like, okay, this is the way it's going to be, and we're just going to have to live with that. But at the same time, the cool thing about doing these concept sketches, these full conceptual paintings, is that I actually get to see them almost brought to life to their fullest before they go into a painting. So I already have a vision of what these are going to look like, and how you know, something in black and white looks a lot different in color and can take you in a different place, and it can kind of mess with your mind a little bit and say, oh, well, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that because it just looks, you know, this color sits differently, so I interpret it different, or, you know, things along that line. So it could definitely like bring this painting into a different direction by showing me a different possibility with these landing craft whales. I mean, the fact that I brought the mosquitoes in and whatnot is almost makes them play a bigger, like these whales play a bigger role than they were going to be in the painting. It's just kind of like thrown off to the side of the painting as how the main subject and his soldier buddies got to the Battle of St. Lo, which is the main focus of the painting. And I think that kind of detail really helps a painting out as well. Because even the castaway, discarded, kind of tired old whales that'll be in the left corner will have, you know, there'll actually be some passion in them, you know, painted into them, because I've hung out with them with this painting before. So, and that'll show once I add them into the, you know, they won't be just like some paintings, stuff like that's just silhouetted, or it's just off in the distance, or it's, you know, implied, but there's no real life given to it. And it's all about the details. There we go. Yeah, I love the mosquitoes. I can't wait to do the painting. I'm probably going to do them next. We're going to have to do just a bitchin' mosquito painting. It's like all the intricacies of the gun, and like I said, how the bullets maybe go inside. Like maybe this is biomechanical. So part of it's actually grown. And it all adds to the story too. So it's like the more I can, you know, tell my friend about the thought process behind it, and the more I can tell anybody once they see the painting, it just adds to the story and how much effort was put into it, which I find is quite lacking in the art world today. I mean, you can work on technique for as long as you want, but when you want to start actually building a career and leaving a legacy, you better start saying something. Because there's a lot of pretty art out there that no one gives a shit about. Because they didn't take the time to put the story into it. Why, man, why? It's a dry heat. Oh, here we go again with your fucking rules. Time, effort, beauty. Are you making wristwatches or painting? I'm fucking with you, dude. You're absolutely right. If you can take the time to, I like that. What I always ask myself when drawing. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, if you're going to put your time and talent into something, why the fuck are you doing it? And especially today, it's, you know, because in today's art world, it's, you know, it's not enough anymore just to be a psychotically weird alcoholic or cross-dressing heroin addict. It may get you some places.
Gay bars.
May get you into a couple gay bars, yeah, but, you know. Yeah. Very cool. No, you're right. Self-assessment, assessment of the piece you're working on, very important. Make sure you're not phoning it in, you know. I mean, I always, at times, I just think, like, if I'm standing in a room with some of the greats, with the people that I admire, with the ones I'm competing with these days, you know, is this going to hold up? There we go. Whew. Get you guys a little close up of that. So it's kind of almost like it's organic, but it's kind of like it's rolled metal. There's just a fold in it, or some of those, man, what was it? Some of those just weird prehistoric fish that were. I think there's or descendants today of, you know, the fish that are just like literally the front part is just bone. Just you just snap your fucking arm off. Just really primal, you know, like he grew this shit.
Fucking African bone to the nose.
Yeah, you know it, sugar.
Real tribal fish.
Yes, tribal tattoos.
Fish with tribal tattoos. Coming out of the deep dark depths of the ocean.
Yeah, I'd like to think Michelangelo would like my eye. I'd like to see his when he saw one of my pieces. What the fuck? It's okay, man. I got a coupon. We're going to the Olive Garden.
That's universal, my friend.
Yeah, we're bringing Van Gogh.
It's like Ciao Bella.
He'll have the ear soup. Yeah, I like Van Gogh. He's I mean, he was one of the ones that I kind of gravitated towards in art history. You know, not just because he's super known, but I just that guy's life was fucking weird. And after seeing that movie where they hand painted everything, you got to see that if you haven't seen it already. Finding Vincent, it's called. But man, just how much he worked was insane, and to sell one painting was ridiculous. He was definitely the OG of art. Like, I mean, that guy had a work ethic that was like unrivaled. I mean, he fucking painted, like, you know, that guy fucked. Like, you've seen Silicon Valley. Yeah, like, it, absolutely nuts. But it's that kind of fervor that, like, you know, that's what artists don't get. It's like, you have to do this shit every day. And then do it some more every day. Yeah. Yeah, I guess back then it was a little different. You know, I mean, I couldn't imagine. I don't know. I mean, every time period has its forks. Lack of a better word right now. Woo. There we go. Get a nice roll on that. His brother's wife, she was a kickbutt woman to fight for his recognition until she died. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I always wonder that, like, you know, once I'm gone, is that it? I'm sure a few people will kick around and talk about my art every once in a while, but like, how much will this shit live on? That's why I'm thinking, you know, you can crank out a ton of art, but maybe you only have like one really fucking amazing painting. And that's, you know, that's kind of where masterpiece came from. I mean, it's when you take everything you got and your greatest idea and put it into something. There we go. Why, thank you. I hope so. I mean, more importantly, I just hope some of the lessons I teach artists live on. Like, if I can get a handful of artists to be successful and whatnot, you know, if you can say your art will be thrown away, well, I mean, maybe if you print it on gift wrapping.
The new disposable art.
Right?
Put it up on your wall.
It's like anything. It's just whoever, does the right person have it? Well, I think too it's more about, you know, just shoving your nose in art in people's faces as much as possible. That'll help it live on. Because usually it's not the art that lives on, it's the artist. I mean, we may use like a painting or something to bring up like Van Gogh or whatnot, but, you know, usually we're, like we were just doing, we weren't talking about specific paintings, we were talking about his behavior and his life. There you go. Wait, what? My brother-in-law is a collector, and he did tell me he wants to put my Santa above his fireplace. I mean, it was a step in the right direction for sure, as long as it stays above the fireplace. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if he's got collector buddies, but it's always a good spot when you have someone who appreciates art. I got some people in San Francisco that have, you know, have my art hanging up that they bought, and that's definitely led to some commissions. And yeah, I remember Santo is on your website, right? I remember the names of some of them. In fact, I still have your website pulled up on my iPad. I've been showing a bunch of people. And I'm so impressed with the pattern work, and I dig it. Yes, I can pick. Cool. Alright, so we're just going to continue kind of rolling this edges of this metal. All right, making some progress here. Oh, let's get that. Let's sketch that in. Oh, nice. Invite D. Antwoord. He's in South Africa. Have them show up. They're big into fucking art. I'm assuming you've heard of them, like South African rap rave group. Big Five and Tabletop Mountain picking next year. Yeah. D. Antwoord is incredible. Not a massive fan of their music, but if you look at watch their videos, holy shit! Talk about creative. It is some of the wildest shit out there. But they're South African. Nope, Sugar's getting tired. Old Jimmy John's lemonade's kicking in. You watch the let's see, Ugly Boys, Banana Brains, a trippy video. Aliens are a brand new one. I Think You're Freaky. And what was the other one? Fatty Boom Boom. But any of their main videos that pop up will Fatty Boom Boom.
Alright. Later, people of the web.
Woo! Sugar's going to bed. He says goodnight, people of the web. Yeah, I hope they're okay, dude. Like, yeah, it's just a little more accessible down there. I was like, there's threats against white people all the time. We fucked the world up pretty good. Night night, Sugar. He took the music too. He turned it off. Oh, I could put something on, but I think I'm gonna chill in silence for a minute. I don't want to interrupt this line work. Nagi-sama Kanaki. Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, get a little close up there. The whale, just doing some of the line work around the eyeball. And and there's the mosquitoes. I know when I'm working down here, they're kind of cut off from the camera, but I'm using a bigger canvas than normal. But oh yeah, you can see a little man right here. But yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for popping in. This is week 2 and painting number 3 for me on the wonderful world of Twitch. Had a pretty bitchin' time so far. Let's see. Little, can't have too many of those little doohickey lines. What's your Todd McFarlane? There's like 3,000-4,000 of them later. If you want to check out SeanDietrichArt.com or check out my Instagram at Sean Dietrich, that will have all my paintings, and you'll be able to see them there. It's just on my feed. You know what? The artwork that I did is at the photographer right now. I got a couple tapestries though. Hold on, let me pop these little over here. See what I got going on. If I can get this. I've got a few of these products in. Here's a Wizard of Oz piece that I did. Oop. Going down to the to that, and here's the original Mad Hatter. I did another one on stream, and these are little silk bandanas that I've been producing. Yeah, I'm wondering. I can't. I'll have the slideshow coming up. I'll get that up and running. But yeah, on my front page there, if you just click on About, that should take you directly to my website, and then you can kind of see over my shoulder here. There's a big yellow piece. So I do a lot of kind of World War II pinup and kind of steampunk and comic books. This piece is actually for a bigger commission that's 6 feet by 4 feet. So I'm working out the character designs right now. I'm taking all these World War II vehicles and animalizing them. So you have machine gun mosquitoes, and this whale is an old landing craft. And then there'll be let's see, I've got the sketches for. This is like a Sherman tank, but I made it into a centipede. So he's got the armor and whatnot, and then he just comes down into this like almost pure bone centipede. And then on either side of the painting, we'll have this left-hand side will have the Valkyries coming in, and then we'll have the girl on the tank, wrapped up in the German flag with the Reaper blade on top of the leopard. So the good and the evil. And the painting is for a buddy of mine whose grandfather stormed Normandy back in World War II. So this is going to pay tribute. So I'm doing conceptual paintings over the next week or so of each one of the characters, and then I'm going to work on the big. It should be it'll be 4 feet tall by 6 feet wide. So expect the camera to be a lot further away from me. So yeah, damn, looks good. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. So, yeah, and then last week I did a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or it was Fear and Bourbon. It was a Hunter S. Thompson piece, but it was him and drinking his bourbon and flying bat barrel. And then I did, excuse me, what was the other one? Mad Hatter, the Honey Hatter. So he had a big honeybee on his hat and whatnot. And I just uploaded those to my website. So I think they are the featured pieces if you go over to SeanDietrichArt.com. And let's see if, now that I've kind of taken a break, where is VLC? I'll throw some tunes on. Let's see here. I've been adding a bunch of file. There it is. All right. Boop. Out of that. Here you go. Listen to some birds. And yeah, so right now just working on the whale, doing a little inking, going in with a lot of Um, so Holbein, very beautiful Japanese ink. This is what I use for all my line work. Liner brush. This is all acrylic, all painted. Little washes in first, and some heavier color, and then I will I go over it with the ink at the end, so just to make it pop. And yes, that was just the beginning of the song, man. I wasn't gonna make you listen to bird calls all night. As if it was snoozy enough without any music, since Sugar went to bed. So let's do a couple separation lines for the highlight here. Do some lines, a little kind of thicken as they hit underneath, almost as if it's maybe the metal is like tightened, you know, a little bit tight underneath the skin. And it gives me an excuse to do more line work. There really wasn't a point. You guys hear the tunes okay? Sounds good. Alright. My technical advisor says it's okay. There we go. Just a few lines to fade out, that way, you know, as it gets closer, it gets you more here. Just kind of crumbles in. Gets sucked into that little gear. I'm gonna leave that a little clean up there, so. There we go. Go. Give him more of a more prominent, got a bony brow. So bringing these down, a little heavier blacks where they meet. Alright, making some nice progress. I like the contrast. That definitely gives it kind of a that doesn't belong here feel. It is metal. up some of these wave lines. And there'll probably be a lot of splattering in here, kind of like where the wave is hitting the whale, a lot of white and whatnot. So, you know, a little bit of this detail will be lost, but it's better than not having it under there. Because what does show through will definitely add to the authenticity of it all. And then this we're gonna go and do a little pinkish in here, like his gum. It's kind of growing in there. And then I think I wanna definitely go a little more darker. There we go. Really bring home that ridge above his eye. There we go. Who the hell's texted me? What's up, bro? You up? It's my buddy Z. He's the guy who manufactures all my products. He's probably up right now because China's up. And that's where we do a lot of manufacturing. Hang on one second. Hey, bud. Let me shoot him a picture of what I'm doing. Picture go through. He obviously does not know about Twitch. Yeah. He does not. Yeah. He's a cool dude, though. He's really kind of walked me through this whole manufacturing thing. So the whole reason I got all my products coming out is because of him. And, you know. Yeah, here's one of the tunes from one of my time lapses. This is Billy Martinez and the Birth of Paper. And it's funny because the whole concept of the painting or the rolling tray is, you know, it's I forgot what dynasty, but it's a Chinese girl in traditional, you know, garb and with a bamboo tree, and you know, it looks very kind of that time period because that's who invented paper. It was a byproduct of the textile industry over in China at that time. And but the way when I finished drawing her, I was like, man, that really looks like one of my buddy's drawings. The way he draws his anime women. And Billy Martinez is his name, so that's how I came up with the title. I was like, you know what, I got to pay tribute to Billy because it looks way too much like his art. So I named it Billy Martinez and the Birth of Paper, and people are just, you know, which is cool because they're kind of like, people just ask me like what the story is, and they're like, what's this Mexican dude have to do with paper making? So to be able to tell them the whole story. But Billy and I have been, oh man, we've been doing art together for, we used to live paint at various nightclubs and whatnot in San Diego, upwards of 18, 19 years ago. But he's an incredibly talented artist out of Nashville. So we all met in San Diego, and then we kind of dispersed across the United States for one reason or another. So I'm gonna add a little more black to this star to give it a little more oomph. But I'm still probably gonna add a few. Oh shit, my hat's getting in the way. Leaning in. I'm gonna add a little more, uh, roughness to it towards the end. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's, I don't know, I always like to come up with a funny story. Or just some off the wall shit, like to explain the painting. Because for me, it's not about, coming up with a title. Like a lot of art you'll see, like some people just like coming up with these confusing ass titles. Or it'll be some 32-word title that'll have nothing to do, that'll explain what they couldn't in their painting, and I find that very intriguing and weird. So I always make sure that, like, even if it's a weird title, you can bet there's a weird story behind it. I'm changing my titles. Yeah, all your paintings now are going to be like so and so and the birth of what? Jim Smith and the birth of noodles. What does that have to do with anything? And sometimes, I phone it in. I'm not the best at all my titles. My original Tank Girls that I put out, it was literally like Sherman Tank Girl, T-34 Girl, King Tiger Girl. Just name the tank and put girl after it because that was the pinup. And at the time, I thought, there's nothing wrong with that. Like this is so people know, what the tanks are and what the vehicles are that are in these paintings. And then once I put the whole series out and it was like 12 paintings of like so and so girl, I'm like, this sounds like the most unoriginal shit ever. Like I gotta work on this. And not, like I said, that they have to be confusing or whatnot, but at the same time, I do like to have a little, make it look like I put a little effort in the name of the damn thing. That's why I like to see some old paintings where it's like untitled. And I'm like, yeah, that guy just, he woke up and said, hey, I painted the damn thing, you name it. And I think sometimes they think that way. Like, do I have to do everything? I learned how to paint for 30 years, motherfucker. Like, alright. Just gonna darken in that coastline there. Now before I get into this, I'm gonna drop in this pink for this gum and a little bit of these red dots, and then that might segue into these mosquitoes. So, but I want to see some warmth, some bolder colors for a minute. That is not the red I wanted, is it? Head back to the PBR lunchbox of love. Let's see here. Ah, that's a good red. Okay. The key to successful art is to have a very unique lunchbox to keep your paint in. Alright. So let's make some pink. Make it a babies. Oh, there we go. Nice little pink in there for base color. Touch of super clean paint water. Yeah, it'd be a good base color. I'll definitely have to shade that in a bit. I just add a little more water. How cigars are? How do you come up with your titles? Like, are a lot of the when you do title a piece, is it is it just cryptic or does have something to do with it, or are you one of those assholes? I'm just here to confuse you because it's the art world. Word combinations. Okay, all right. That are like words from the elements of the painting, or Giger's alien is Galian. Oh, okay. All right, all right. I like that. Santa Fe Canyon Road. Santa. See, that's cool. You don't need to change that shit. I like it. See, there's a thought process behind it. That's why it's cool. I never name my artwork. It's all right. That's cool too. Like I said, some of us, like you did your job. People can order it like a menu. I'll take number 32. Yeah, that's a great painting. I think I'm trying to see when I got back into painting. I might not have named my paintings until later. I think I was just exhausted with the process. I'm like, I got to call it something, But I mean, I do it now. Just have so much art, and it's easier, obviously, when selling if people can yell out a title instead of like, I want the one with the whale. But get some of this shadow in here, some hatching, darken up this few of these throat lines, set it further back. Oh yeah, please link your art if you're an artist. I have no problem with that. I like people sharing art in here. I hope that's the right link. Yeah. Your info is being stolen. This is porn. Dear God, man. Oh, I can feel my throat getting scratchy. Did I put any water in? I didn't. Alright. Get you guys a close up. I will be right back. You guys enjoy the tunes. I'm going to go grab some liquid refreshment. I'll keep the stream up. Listen to the tunes. I'm going to come back. We're going to have some red spots, and I'm getting meaner and meaner looking, or him? I'm thirsty. I'll be right back. Back. All right. Nice. Need something to match the lunchbox. All right. That link didn't work. SurfacePro.com should work. Okay, I'm back. Continue playback. I'll continue. Let's see. There we go. This stuff's pretty dope, isn't it? His patterns are absolutely ridiculous, like in a good way. That cinnamon. Alrighty. Damn, cinnamon, you're thirsty. We got a little dog in here, the studio mutt. Start these circles off a little light. Worn. See how they look once I put them in. Practice, man, practice. That's it. And you have to be a magical being from another planet. Don't tell anybody you know that, though. Yeah. It's been an interesting road here, though. I feel like I got this from another planet. I like it. I get asked all the time, you know, where do you get your inspiration? Fuck if I know. I'm just glad that shit happens up here. I can look around at anything and create a painting, but, you know, yeah, his stuff is amazing. But I don't even try and understand what, like, how I can do this. I mean, beyond the practice. I mean, you definitely have to have an eye to be an artist. I mean, cigars are, you're a photographer, you know that. Got to be able to see that shit. That's the internal stuff that is like, I don't want to know the mystery behind that. I'm just glad I wake up and I can do this shit. It just all kind of comes together. fade it out a bit. Yeah, I think those work pretty well. It's like you swam through a patch of poison ivy, but I like them. They're angry spots. Mad motherfucker. Alright. Yeah, just to bring in a little more of a heated color so I can see how it, bounces. So, why don't we, should we give him a red eye? Nah, that'd be too obvious. I think he's angry. Why don't we start, still haven't figured out if I want to do, well, I know I don't, at first I thought maybe I'll do white and then red for the body, and then I'm like, he's totally going to look like Santa Claus with a machine gun for his nose. And if I do white and red altering, he might look like a candy cane. So maybe I'm unsure of the mosquitoes. I don't know. At this point. I like the idea of red. Maybe making it all red. Just like red fur, red body, just some angry red thing. But yeah, the last thing I need. Mr. Whale and the candy cane crew attacking Normandy. That doesn't strike fear into anybody's heart. Okay. Let's go to the lunchbox. Because I may just get a different color option in there. Brown and red's an option, yeah. I was thinking that too. That is an excellent call, actually. I was thinking, you got red, you got brown for like leather. Yeah, maybe a couple of these like brown, just to almost make it look like leather straps wrapped around. And then maybe I can even do some like golden fur up here. And then brown and red. Done. Let's do it. Why think about it? Okay. Brown's a great idea. It is a Browning machine gun. Horrible jokes tonight. Okay. All right. See? That's why it's good to stream too. I get help. You know what? What I'm going to do is last two tail sections are going to be red, brown, and then this will be like golden. And then kind of shade it in with a darker brown. That way it'll look like it's just like got this red stinger. That'll work. That will work. And I think we're out of the Santa Claus zone with that. It was the night before Normandy. Yeah. I'll get my red in there somehow. There we go. Almost like, there you go. It's the red tails. P-51 mosquitoes. That almost sounds like a plane. I'll actually give you a third section that's red. Okay. No candy canes. Yeah. And then the elves came out of the whale's mouth. And they all killed Nazis together. Go for a bigger brush here. So we'll get a little bit of brown. Yeah, that brown's going to work really nice, especially with the green. I mean, the brown and green is very just indicative of military. So we'll put a nice base coat of this brown down, and then I'll go in and shade it. And then we'll do the line work. We'll give the segments some nice little noodling like down in here. We've avoided the candy canes. Yeah, I like that. What I don't like, there we go. Yeah, Nagisama, thank you. If I'm pronouncing that right, forgive me if I'm not. But good call. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm a pretty easy guy. If it's a good color combination, a good choice, I'm not gonna pull out a pipe and a thinking cap and sit here for 6 hours pondering it. That was definitely a good choice. And the legs are all going to be black, so they got their boots on. There we go. Very cool. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, and then yeah, let's, you know what, I got this yellow ochre. We're gonna drop that. I think that'll be perfect base color for the fur. We'll actually add a little bit of water to it, and, shit, make sure I didn't do all that off camera. Trying my best to remember that this thing isn't all gonna fit in one frame. There we go. Almost looks like he's got like a brown coat on with like alpaca fur. Nice fur lining. Which I'm working towards getting my Aero leather jacket built or bought. If you don't know this, it's in, well, they're popular now, the company, because they did all the leather jackets for Captain America, and they're about probably $1,000, $1,200 US, but they are, wow. There's a World War One barnstormer jacket, like the Red Baron would wear, that I want, and it's like lined with alpaca fur. Yeah, we do well this year. That'll be my treat. But I think they take like 6 months to make or something like that. There's a backlog. But it's a damn fine jacket. There we go. I like that. Let's see. Not as cool as a fine cigar. I'm going to keep showing these off all night. I'm so stoked you sent those. And I promise I won't smoke it and drink a PBR with it. I'll class it up a bit. Maybe we don't need too much. Okay, so let's get the smaller brush. Darken. Yeah, sorry. People watching don't know. Cigar Czar sent me a few fine cigars, which I now have to figure out which special occasion I'd like to smoke them on. And let me ask you, puff only or inhale? What is the art to smoking a cigar? I think I've only smoked 2 in my life, and I just, when I was younger, just puffed on them like whatever. Or is that even a thing? Like if someone just puffs a cigar and doesn't like, do not inhale. Okay. Yeah. It's for taste, right? All right. Fill me in on the art of this thing. I don't want to have to YouTube video. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've puffed a cigar before. Smoke in the mouth and blow it out. Okay, all right. Perfect, perfect. I'll shoot a video too. When my buddies and I are enjoying these, I'll shoot you over a little video. It contains nicotine, so think of the smoke as snuff. Okay. I don't know much about that. I know they have weird ass competitions where they shove as much in their nose, right? Isn't that snuff? We'll give you a slight buzz. Okay. It will give me a slight buzz. It's got killer flavor. All right, cool. Are you a dealer? Do you sell cigars or just a aficionado? I'm just gonna put the shading up underneath the fur here. I just love them. Cool. Very cool. Yeah, you would love that convention I do, that trade show I do, and smoker friendly, and it's actually in Boulder, Colorado, or Denver, or something like that. You know, but yeah, there's a lot of guys that are there that are big cigar fans. A little dark under the eyeball here. Guido. A lot more water in that. Okay. Bring in a little bit of the dark brown. a little puffy. Don't smoke on an empty stomach. All right. That I will not do. This is just tears your stomach up. I mean, I'm sure whoever I smoke them with, they'll enjoy them after dinner, and you know, like tradition dictates. Nice. With a good beer, wine, and whiskey. Great. A quadfecta. Alright, so got a little bit of fur on him. They're not super close up like the honeybee was, so I don't think I need to go in 5 or 6 layers. I'm going to detail these guys right now, and then I'll figure out the gun, and then we'll go from there. But I don't know if that gun is ready for some hookers green. I'm almost ready to put this lime green on there, and then just darken it. Oh, choose one. That's no fun. If anything, I may use that green, but I want to see what this green looks like. Let me go in and shade it. Sorry. I am paying attention, I swear. Where the camera's at. Good. We're almost 5 hours tonight streaming. Good to get a nice long stream in. Although I'm sure some veteran streamers will be like, 5 hours, haha, that's not long. I'm just happy because that means I got to spend a good solid 5 hours today painting. So, and that was one of the main reasons for me to start a Twitch channel. So, just to make sure I get, at minimum Monday through Friday, a good solid 4 or 5 hours of painting in. Outside of getting sick and all that good shit. Cool, man. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for the cigars. And we'll see you next time. Get some sleep. Yeah, fuck. What is it? It's like 5 a.m. in Texas, isn't it? 4? Alright. Hanging with the late night crowd. And for me, it's only, 10 to 2. I'm on the West Coast, so. Okay, so you're West Coast too. I saw you added me on Instagram too. Thanks. So yeah, that's where I upload a lot of my new artwork. Is you can count on it being on Instagram, if not the website first or whatnot. So Instagram's just easy. All right, let's jump back to some ink and get these mosquitoes detailed. Yeah, let's get those in. I need to make those pop. Put some shadows in. Let's bring this down. We'll start with my main man up here. All right. Woo. Might actually give him maybe a little stinger. I don't know if it's a mosquito, but as far as I know, mosquitoes don't have machine guns for heads either. So I think I'm cool. The legs are going to be solid black, so I don't mind painting right through them. Bit of a zoom so you can see some of the line work a little bit better. I'll try and maintain camera position. Those really long, kind of skinny, elegant legs. That almost just kind of dangle. Some more hatching on the bottom here to more shadow, a little heavier shadow. There we go. I like those legs. In fact, I can go in with like a micro liner brush and actually add some white highlight at the very end. Any art tips? Sure. Anything particular? Or, I mean, I mainly paint and I do ink, and I tour all over and I sell my art. So, tips as far as technique or getting out there, or what were you thinking? What kind of art do you do? far as general tips, practice, 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 practice. um, you know, find your own way as far as stylistically or whatnot. This wasn't, I wasn't always a painter. Sketch and ink, cool. I started out in comic books and gaming, and then I do poster work for a multi-billion-dollar rolling paper company now. So crazy how so always be open to different industries and different different ways of getting your artwork out there. Definitely don't pigeonhole yourself as far as where to show your work. And I am a big proponent of getting out there and showing it. Like, I tour a lot of the big rock festivals in the United States, so my bread and butter is actually selling at these festivals directly to the public, as opposed to just hanging out online and trying to have a web store. So as far as like the business side and the kind of getting your artwork out there side of it, explore every avenue available. And if you're not one that, if you're shy or you're not one to get out there and likes to sell, then find your most obnoxious friend and send them out and let them do it. And show up at the booth and do some art and paint or whatever, or do a trade show or a art fair or local gallery get together or whatnot, and then just, get your loudest friend to sell your art for you. You seem, pretty traditional, sketch and ink. That's how I started out. I didn't go to art school. For me, I didn't really feel the need to sit in a classroom after. I started winning art contests in middle school. I had a very, very good middle school art teacher who really helped me hone my skills. And then my high school teacher was, she was older, a lot more, let's paint wagon wheels and, oranges and lighting, and I got it. But, I self-published my first book when I was 15, and I sold like 400 copies. So to me, I was off and running, and I was a traditional painter and ink and sketching like you do. So I didn't really want to go to art school and spend all that money when I knew that if I just kept practicing, I would get better. And that's how I did it. I just kept up, and I started submitting my comics and to independent publishers. I finally got picked up, put out my first book. I lived in San Diego, so I was able to get to the San Diego Comic-Con pretty easy, but there's always conventions everywhere, I just started showing my work to everybody, collaborating with artists. When my first book came out, it was an indie book, so they didn't really have a budget for advertising. So I the guy Sugar that was behind me, who, I don't know if you logged in when he was still here, but that's his music production studio right there. He helps run my day-to-day operations at my business, at my art studio. But him and I have been doing events for probably 20 years now, where he would DJ and I would live paint on stage, or I'd be like, well, where are you spinning on Friday? Is the nightclub, will they be cool if I set up a canvas? Oh yeah. And I would sit there and live paint in front of people and sell my comic book. So that's how I started. And then, but yeah, as far as technique, it's just practice. Just, what I did when I knew I wanted to draw comics. That was my first thing when I first started. So I actually, the minute I started really taking it seriously, I stopped collecting and I stopped reading. And that might be a little harder for some because there is a lot of good comics out there, and but for me, it was at a time where I was just getting kind of tired of the whole superhero, bullshit. And this was the late 90s when like Marvel Image was just coming out, and it was just all these gatefold variant covers. They're just trying to sell you a bunch of shit. So you got to buy 20 different covers to get the whole story. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with this. So I cleared my myself of being influenced by other artists. So um, I looked up to certain artists and I learned from them, by looking at their technique. But I decided that I wasn't going to pay attention to anybody for a few years. I was going to get more into maybe film or music or stuff that didn't directly pertain to me drawing or looking at an art style, but would satisfy me entertainment-wise. And I did that until I developed my own style and then kind of went from there. And a lot of what I do in technique and texture, and I actually got from watching really old, like good cinema than looking at artists. So you never know where inspiration's going to strike. And then just making sure original content, coming up with your own characters. I mean, I do a little bit of, Alice and Wizard of Oz and whatever, but those are all open source. Those are free. There's no copyright on those. If I am doing a licensed piece, or fan art, I try and get the license, or at least get like some sort of like thumbs up approval from somebody, if I want to sell it. So, but there's so much fan art out there nowadays. It's just inundated the whole culture. Anime, comic books, gaming. I mean, there's so many artists that think they're not going to make it unless they are drawing this stuff that they think people want to buy, and it just doesn't work that way. I mean, if you're going to leave a legacy and you're going to actually like produce something that people want, you're going to have to come up with your own characters. You're going to have to create a machine gun mosquito or a whale, with a landing gear or whatnot. So it's fun to do that stuff and to kind of throw it out there online, because it does, obviously draw traffic to your site. But if you want people to remember you and start collecting your art and start paying big money, good money. I mean, my bigger paintings will sell for upwards of $20,000. So, but I didn't do that by drawing Spider-Man art and Batman art and art that wasn't mine. Yeah, just be honest with yourself. And if you really want to be an artist, I mean, if you really want to do this, I mean, you're going to have to warp your entire life has to be based around. It's got to be the you show for a while. You know what I mean? And there's there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of fun times, there's a lot of amazing experiences that come along with being an artist for a living. So, and if you realize, I mean, it's one of the last honest jobs out there. I mean, not a job, but you know what I mean. It's one of the last honest things a person can do. Like pick up a brush or a pencil or something and move civilization forward by creating. And I think we've kind of, we've lost that as a society, realizing that artists are the reason that we are where we are today, as much as the opposable thumb. So, just keep it in mind that, know you're doing important work. And I guess a couple things that come to mind. I had that I think are really cool and things to think of as an artist. Another buddy of mine that I take out on tour, he went out. He's gone out a couple of years with me. He created a great fan base. He grew it, and then he posted on Facebook one day. He's like, I find that I can't write my political or social statements on my Facebook anymore because it might alienate half my fan base. And I was like, who cares? Like, that's so awesome. What he wasn't looking at, the big picture, was that through his artwork, he actually brought all these people together. Left side, right side, gay, straight, people who don't like gays, people who are Republican, people who support Trump, people, but he had all these people in one room, so to speak, liking his art. I said, you're bringing people together through art, and they may not like each other's lifestyles or what they do, but that's incredibly important, what you're doing with your art. So always keep that in mind, as far as an art tip. Like, it is worth it because you are doing great things as an artist. So, And then, from there, as time goes on, you'll figure out, why you became an artist, and what your body of work will include, and what you want to, end up leaving the world. Not to get too heavy. I know that kind of went all over the place, but I'm just trying to kind of stream of consciousness, throw out some tips that I think would help, everything from what to do, art-wise, and technique, to the kind of the philosophies, modern philosophies behind being an artist. I think back in the day, more being an artist was about mastering the technique. And now being an artist, I feel, is about, mastering culture. Yeah, for sure. Anytime. I definitely want to, through my streaming, pass on, what knowledge I've had over the last 20 years I've been an artist, so. And hopefully many more to come. I feel there's not a lot of outlets, especially like the business side of things. I am working on a pretty substantial business book for artists specifically. Interviewing everybody from gallery owners to lawyers to, copyright specialists and whatnot. That's one thing, definitely always, always pay attention to the business side of it. And hire people. Even if you're just trading them artwork, if you're getting to that point where you need someone to do your taxes, find a good tax guy. Or gal. Yeah, I like this guy. He's cool. Yeah, I did a painting once. It had I think it kind of summed up everything of at that point that I had been through as an artist. I think I had just gotten married, and we had just started to come into income through my art. So I decided it was time to reflect on the last however many years that was ago, 12 years ago. No, I'm sorry. This was, I've only been married 7 years. So about 7, 8 years ago, I did this painting, and it basically has a little dude, and he's in a boat. He's got this giant rock on his shoulders, like Atlas. And chiseled into the art, it just says art, chiseled into the rock. And it's just huge rock, and it's crushing him. And he's in a boat, and the boat's snapping in half, and it's taking on water. And everything drowning below him is all the words like passion, time, family, loneliness, whatever he has sacrificed for his art. And that was a painting, the one painting I could come up with that I thought summed up what the road looks like to becoming an artist. It's a fun road. Don't let me get it in your head. It's all doom and gloom. But I do like to prepare people for, potential hazards in the roadway. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. I'm pleased with how it's coming out. I'm going to do a little sideways here so I can get this wing. And we're going to go a little thicker on the bottom to kind of, to make it pop. Give it a little bit of a shadow. And actually, that painting with the guy in the boat and whatnot, I really want to redo that one or paint it again. It was kind of a quick concept. I just painted it live at this club super quick one night, and I'm like, man, I got to redo this. It was like a full-on studio piece. There we go. A little vein work. There we go. marking that down here. Shadow. Alright, let's make him fuzzy. Yeah, I like that lime green machine gun. That kind of has like a B movie feel to it. Some Mars Attacks. Yeah, this is the fun part. Just dropping in all that. Ideas on what you should sketch. What do you like? No sense in drawing stuff you don't like. In order to get better, just work on your basics, your cylinders, cones, cubes, spheres. Make sure you got your shapes down. I don't know, when I was sketching, a lot, I just drew everything and anything. I was like, okay, I need to learn how to draw a flower. Go out and draw a bunch of flowers. But a lot of times, too, I would just draw shit I like. I mean, even if it was just cartoon characters or, whatever, just so I could just get technique down. I actually used to trace comic books, like Todd McFarlane stuff, because I really wanted to learn, what it felt like to kind of draw correctly. So I would just trace over and over and over and over again. I wouldn't put that stuff out. I mean, that was just all kind of garbage. But and then idea-wise, I don't know. I mean, my big thing is always combining weird stuff. Mosquitoes and machine guns, whales and ramps. I don't know, how subject matters that maybe people wouldn't have thought of to combine, or I like making very odd combinations of things. And sometimes, you just won't know what to sketch. Other times it'll hit you, or you'll just sketch and nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll kind of go back to an old sketchbook or whatever and be like, oh, wait a minute, I just drew this idea. Now if I combined it with this idea, we got something. There's a nice fuzzy little whatever the fuck this thing's called. Alright. Yeah, draw whatever. Whatever comes to mind. Especially when mastering a technique, if you're just really working on shading and you love apples, then draw a bunch of fucking apples. There's no sense in learning a technique if you're not drawing something you enjoy. Because you're eventually gonna have to go and learn how to draw all that stuff anyway, but So cool. Thanks for the follows, guys. Yeah. Really appreciate it. We got Zach. Zach is fucked. And Leaf. Leaf Erickson. A great explorer. just working on get this machine gun inked in. I'll hop back up here and finish him up. And I don't know if you heard the story earlier, but basically this painting, I got commissioned to do a piece commemorating my friend's grandfather's. He stormed Normandy back in the day, in World War II, back in the day. And he wanted a painting to commemorate it, but he wanted like he wanted my style, but then, and I tried sketching out a bunch of concepts for this thing that I thought were going to work, and finally it just hit me. I wanted to go like very surreal with it, and he was cool with the idea, so I told him I wanted to animalize all the tanks and weaponry, and I wanted to make it just almost like what it would probably feel like just how off the wall and unreal to be in battle. So I ended up coming up with the whale for the landing craft, and then the machine gun mosquitoes, and then also that thing I showed you with the oh yeah, here we go. So the Sherman tank with the that I turned into this like armored centipede. So basically all the characters in the, and then at the top there'll be like the Valkyrie and the horse on the good side, and then there'll be the girl on the German tank on the other side. So, but this is something, I mean, this commission, and so now I'm going through and doing one painting for each one of these, machines, so I get to learn them from the inside out for, each one of these characters, and, it gives me a few new paintings to work on, but then when I sit down to work on the big 6 foot by 4 foot painting, I'll know pretty much inside and out how these characters look and how they're going to interact with everybody. So, but when this painting was commissioned three years ago, I mean, I had to read a book on this guy's life, and so some things take a while as well. And not this piece. This piece has taken about 2 days. This is not the 3-year commission. But, you get to that point. People are dropping a lot of money on your work. You want to make sure they get the best. Thanks for all the follows and people that just joined in. Just kind of gave a brief explanation on what I'm working on right now. Just trying to finish up these machine gun mosquitoes, and then but yeah, feel free to follow me. Also check out Instagram at Sean Dietrich, Sean Dietrich Art on Facebook, and then SeanDietrichArt.com. You can see a bunch of my finished paintings, including the Mad Hatter and the Hunter S. Thompson piece I did last week on Twitch before I had a wonderful little cold knock me out for a couple days. That's alright. The NyQuil gave me time to hallucinate some really cool new art for you, so. And if anybody joining us, if you're an artist, feel free to post a link to your work in the chat. Always down to check out new art, and I don't mind at all if you guys want to promote your personal art in the chat. And some of the tunes you're hearing tonight, my buddy Sugar is a music producer. It's his desk right there behind me. But if you click on my YouTube link or look at my feed, I have all the my time lapses uploaded. So he produces all the music for the time lapses. So in fact, I should play some of them right now. And if it doesn't scare you away, then you're the right kind of person to hang out in here. I don't think any of them have popped up, have they? Beetle, dude. You just heard that, huh? Oh, here we go. Based out of Washington State, so northern far corner you go, about an hour south, hour and a half south of Vancouver, up in the San Juan Islands. San Diego, 15 years. New Orleans before that, born in Baltimore. And then I travel around and do all the big rock shows. So I go out 2 months in spring, 2 months in fall, and I do live art at like Rock on the Range and a bunch of the big rock festivals and Cannabis Cups. So I do a lot of trade shows. If you ever heard of OCB Rolling Papers, I do all their rolling tray work. And Genius Pipe, I have a whole line of Genius Pipes out. So. Oh, you're in Washington State too? No way. That's nice. I think there's a few people in here from Washington. Yeah, I love it up here. I'm up like San Juan Islands area, kind of 16,000 people, small island town, like, which is nice because I can go cause trouble in the rest of the U.S. and then make it back here and everything's good. All on camera. Okay. Canvas is a little big. Bigger than normal. Give this guy a little curl. There we go. Near Seattle? Cool. Awesome, awesome. Absolutely love Seattle. Used to do the Emerald City Comic Con every year. I was a guest for the first 12 years or so. Yeah, I live up Anacortes. So, a little touristy town. 16,000 people in the winter, 100,000 in the summer, whatever ridiculous amount of tourists come in and drive like morons for 3 months. We don't mind the money though. Yeah, I'm in Seattle in a minute. But yeah, my buddy lived downtown for a while. We used to go run around like maniacs. Alright, so we got his legs in, we got all his legs in. So I can zoom in on these mosquitoes a little bit so you guys can see the line work. This guy. So it's all and I don't use black paint. This is all Holbein, Japanese ink, and little liner brush. So it's like a double O or I don't know. Still got the price tag on. 0. There we go. Yeah. All right. Get this guy fuzzy. Go. Okay. Please darken up his eye. think this guy will just have black hair all the way around. Gotta be one psycho in the bunch. There we go. One of the next paintings I'll do is a full painting of the mosquito. So we're actually going to see like where the machine gun bullets feed in. He's going to be part mechanical and part, whatever. So hey, Silicon Bleach, what's up, man? You done one of your marathon streams? Glad to have you join. You can see some of the stuff I'm working on. Cheers. I know you got a hookah. Oh, you just woke up. Okay. I know. I think you got some odd hours compared to mine or whatnot, or because usually I can catch you, I think, streaming before I hop on, or middle of the day, or I don't know when, but another shot. Have a hookah after. There you go. Nice. Well, we gotta get that caterpillar emote. I think that was the first time I chimed in. You guys mentioned you were trying to develop that. There we go. Alright. So he's got his 3. Yeah, there you go. This would be the caterpillar. I think I had to send mine off or some shit. I don't know. Here's the Cheshire. That's a silicone dab mat. Caterpillar's too fat. Yeah, I just sent off my. I had my only sample of my Caterpillar dab mat. I had to send it off to this distribution company that wants to carry it. I was like, oh, there goes my mouse pad, But yeah, that was the Cheshire. That's his name. And then I'm working on this whale right now. So it's a World War II landing craft, and then 3 30 caliber mosquitoes. Oh, you saw the mouse pad. That's right. Yeah, that's how we even got onto the subject of the caterpillar, for sure. Definitely. But yeah, anti-slip mat, dab mat. I live in a legal state. Mouse pad when I'm in some state where pot isn't legal. Or when I'm talking to Best Buy. Almost. Like super close. I think I was, maybe it's the number of followers I need, or something like that. I know I'm halfway to 50, which is something, but I think I've 3 out of the 4 to be an affiliate. I've accomplished. Yeah. I may just call Twitch and be like, look, you need to make me a partner and an affiliate and all that shit right now. Let's skip the formalities. 50, yeah, okay, so I'm halfway there. But I've been on like a week and a half and 25 followers, I think, But I've been working out the kinks. I haven't even put it out on Facebook or Instagram yet that, that I'm doing this. So I have, let's see if any of my friends and fans will hop in off that. This is purely organic, just Just streaming. Yeah, I will tell him. I don't date Twitch. There you go. You know, I found that works quite well in certain instances. You know, I mean, I've been a pro for 13 years now. I can, you know, I'll build up the stream. I love it. I like the streaming concept. I like the fact that I can paint. I'm painting anyway. Might as well be online, showing people how it's done, and having a good time. True social media. We are actually engaging. Alright, touch this guy up right here. He's got a little funk growing on his there we go. Now we're gonna do the water tomorrow night because the water is gonna be complete insanity. The line work is, yeah, it's probably 5 hours of line work. If you go on my website, there's a painting called "There's a Lady." It's a Led Zeppelin tribute. It was the cover to Herb magazine, but there's some water on there, which will be a reference. Cool. Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got you on auto host, so you and Jub. Yeah, I'll work on the emotes and all that stuff as well. You know, right now I'm just trying to crank out as much artwork and bang out a bunch of commissions I have. But yeah, I might even source it out to somebody and just pay them to come up with some emotes for me. Nay Pomegranate, that is a fucking sick ass name. Thank you for the follow. I love it. I love when you get a good combination, a good play on words. We have a friend, my friend Lexi. She has her name is the Lexecutioner, and I'm like, that's awesome. Well, this guy ain't got no time for emotes. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I got a pretty raw and basic feed right now. Like, I put !social. So that's the only social media command I put in. I'm like, ain't got time for that. Alright. So mosquitoes are done. I will be adding a bunch of white highlights and shit in the end, but so don't worry. But got the metal, mosquitoes are done. Got their day glow. 30 cal Brownings. Worked on his eye, got the little flesh where it's like attached to the landing craft. Just gonna darken in this hill right here, and actually maybe just throw in some color right now. I'm just having so much fun with the ink. And you gotta have a PBR lunchbox. Hold your paints. You need one. Silicone Bleach needs one for his pastel. Just a PBR lunchbox full of high-end art supplies. All right, let's dive into some of this. My brush was fucked. Cool, man. Thanks for popping in. Just gonna base color it with this yellow ochre and go in with some brown, and then ink away. So whatever you drank better be sugar-free for the grind, no crap. It's one of the tunes, Voodoo Frog, my buddy produced for the time lapses. So all the time lapses I have posted up on the YouTube or they're on my feed. Music's by the Funk, legendary band that you've never heard of. Sugar-free Red Bull streamers. Yeah, there will be no drinking of Red Bull here. I used to live paint at a bar that, like, if someone ordered a Red Bull and vodka, security would throw them out. We don't serve your kind. All right, let's try that out a little bit. Awesome bar. Just a real shithole dungeon underneath, you know, one of them underground places. They let me, night of my bachelor party, we showed up like fucking 7 bars deep or something. They let me bartend. So I got behind the bar. Anybody who ordered anything, I just poured them like a triple shot of Jameson. They're like, I need a blah, blah, blah. Here's a fucking whiskey. Here's a whiskey. 2 minutes later, the whole bar is just confused. All right, let's strip some of that color away. And they would, like on hip hop night, they would, bump the price. What is it, Ciroc vodka that like P. Diddy promotes or one of those guys? They would charge $10 a shot, but you could get like Grey Goose or something for like $8 a shot, only because these people would come in and just buy that because he promoted it. It was such an awful, awful drink. I loved that bar. Yeah, they didn't know what hit them. They were like, I wanted a red-headed slut. I didn't want a triple Jameson. Sorry. Learn to drink. A little bit of this brown around the coastline. A nice late night crowd in the lounge. I feel like, let's see. Got 5.5 hours streaming, not bad. Had a shitty little cold knocked me out the last couple days. Something my son brought home from the last day of school. Here, Dad, here's my report card. And death. Thanks, buddy. There we go. Switch up to that bigger brush. That last plateau, hillside. Just gonna kind of tap in that color. Okay. Here we go. My little splashes up there, doesn't matter, just adds to the texture. This is a painting about World War II. It sure as hell gonna get dirty. There we go. Just strip out that color. All right, jump back into the ink. Lines it off in the distance, so we'll make them a lot tighter. There we go. Darker as it hits the water. texture. Billy Martinez. This is a track from one of the time lapses. I'm gonna finish up this clip, and I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta get up and do shit tomorrow that I don't remember what I have to do, but I'm sure I have to do it. But thank you guys for hanging out, and thanks for all the new follows. I'll be here tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Finishing up the whale here, and yeah. So I think I'm falling into that. 9 p.m., 9:30 to about 2-3 a.m. I'll stream on those days, and then I'll throw in some weekend streams when I get a chance, or maybe hop on during the day. Woohoo! But feels good to get this nice long stream in tonight. All right, so we got the coastline in. We'll just work on the pillbox. We'll drop that little thing in tomorrow, and then got the whale, got some of the water-based color in. Did the mosquitoes, the 30 caliber mosquitoes. Got the all the green. Got the whale. Did all the detail work around the eyes. So after we pillbox, we'll do a little bit of the spittle, and then after that, it's all about the water, which is just going to be a pretty insane amount of water lines. So cool. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Well, I got a drink now. All right. Bye, y'all.